Welcome to Saturday Morning Tutorials!
So you want to know how to water bend. Water does not work, it flows. You must flow like water. Let it travel through your body, and then you can find harmony, or you can commune with water. But there's one thing to note. Do not get distracted.
Avatar, the last airbender, also bent water. So we are going to show you how we did that. How was that as an intro?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Awesome.
Perfect. I mean, we don't have to show it coming out of the bucket. It just seems like a cool shot.
What's going on here?
I'm making you wanna know what I'm doing?
I really do.
I'm making a water wand.
Oh, I see.
And we're gonna turn on the hose, and it's gonna drip water, and then we're gonna paint this out, and we'll replace this part with a CGI ball of water, but we'll have real water raining down from it.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's how you make movies.
That's how you do it.
Now we're all rich.
Because we used practical water in some of the shots, it means we need to paint out our water wand. This is easy to do if you shoot on a tripod and remember to get a clean plate. We just need to loosely mask around it and feather that mask. This does leave us with a weird feathered edge where this water comes into existence, but by the time we're done, that won't matter anymore.
We also have some practical splashes that are just water being flung out of a bucket.
Didn't really get too much distance. Cool.
These didn't quite come out looking as cool as we intended, but they are a great reference for how water actually interacts with our scene. So if you're able to get something like this, you should definitely use it as reference when you're compositing your fake water. I found it extremely helpful.
Yeah, references are good.
Skulls are cool.
Skulls are cool. This effect is mostly based on displacement, so for that we need a displacement map.
Oh.
Yeah, displacement needs to know where to go. We're gonna show you 3 different ways to make a displacement map. Adrian, start us off with number 1.
The first way is just to not.
Huh. It's not super helpful.
No, it is. On ProductionCrate, do a search for water, and that'll bring you to this liquid and ice section. From there, we can click the liquid streams thumbnail, and we'll find a bunch of CGI water clips that are already good to go. Just use those, man.
Yeah, or if you're a 3D artist, you can make your own cool water effects, or, you know, just save yourself a bunch of time and download them from ProductionCrate. The second method is for when you just want a solid ball of water. This is going to be completely within After Effects, so no stock footage or third-party stuff.
Nice.
We're going to start by making a new solid and adding a fractal noise. You can mess with whatever settings you want to customize it, but we just left everything as it is. Open up the transform section and set a keyframe on the offset turbulence and move forward in time, and then move it off to the side. This is going to cause the water ball to look like it is spinning.
Add a CC sphere effect to turn it into a ball. In the shading tab, you can change the light direction to match your scene as best you can. You can also animate the rotation of the sphere if you want to. We added a bit of Z rotation to make it as if the ball is tumbling around a bit. Adding this rotation, however, will make it so that you can see a seam as well as the pinching at the top and the bottom of the ball. It's ugly, but after this next step, it won't matter anymore. Chris, help us out.
I'm going to add a vector blur to everything.
We'll do it then.
Okay, add a vector blur and crank it up pretty high. Try messing with the ridge smoothness settings. Moving this up high can give you a really nice watery look.
Now that you've got your ball shape,
let's go play handball.
No, I'm busy.
Fine.
Now that you've got your ball shape, go ahead and animate it to fit your scene. If your ball moves really fast at any point, try adding a transform effect and turning up the skew at those points. This will change your water ball's shape while mostly maintaining its volume. Here's some side-by-side comparisons of what it looks like with skew and without. Now you can see why it's a good idea. Next time, just trust me.
When you're happy with your animation, go ahead and pre-compose that layer, removing all attributes, and open up that pre-comp. Now you can duplicate your water ball, and in the CC sphere effect on one of those layers, change the render mode to inside and set it to a lighten transfer mode. Now our sphere has both an inside and an outside. Wow. Cool. This is good because water is kind of see-through.
Thanks for the cool aquatic fact. Now add a new adjustment layer and put a turbulent displace effect onto it. Having this on an adjustment layer is preferable to having it on the sphere layers themselves, because now as you move the spheres about the comp, they're going to look like they're moving through a turbulent field. You can also animate the turbulent displacement effect if you want, but you don't have to.
Finally, apply a CC glass effect. Turn the softness way down to something like 2 or 3. This will give us some very distinct highlights and ridges. Turning up the height will emphasize this even more. For the displacement, we'll turn that down, which gives us back our solid edges.
And that's it for this type of displacement map. We know it doesn't look like water just yet, but chill, it will when we composite it. We'll come back to it.
Yeah, hold your water.
Hold your seahorses.
Nice.
I did it.
So you're like a Jedi or something, right?
What's a Jedi? A Jedi?
Yes.
What? I don't. What's a?
Oh, you just look like someone else I know.
Okay.
Never mind.
The third displacement map method is using good old trap code particular. I love this plugin. This is going to give us more of a stream of water look. Using a light or a layer emitter, you can animate this to do whatever you want. Change the velocity and velocity random of your particles to 0. A little velocity from motion might look cool. Give it a shot.
You'll probably want to decrease your particle life. We went with 1 second with a life random of 25%.
You monster. Those poor particles.
Why?
They blink into existence and then they blink away. 25% of them blinking a little bit randomly.
Lived a full life.
No, they did not.
The particle type is a sphere.
It's sphere.
I believe it's pronounced sphere.
No, it's actually sphere.
The particle type is a sphere, and we turn the size up to make it big and bulbous with a 50% size random as well.
In the shading tab, turn on the shadowlets. Turn the opacity up to 10 and change the placement to always in front to keep the shadows from jumping around.
In the physics section, feel free to experiment with some turbulence. This whole effect is about customization and experimentation. So customize, experiment, play around, guys.
Yeah, have fun. Don't get hurt though.
Yeah, don't get hurt. This is dangerous.
Yeah. When you're happy with your particles, apply a matte choker effect to give it a solid edge. On top of that, we will apply all the same effects as we did before. I'm gonna try and say them really fast. Vector blur, turbulent display, CC glass. How's that? Time me.
That was so fast.
Yeah.
And those are our 3 displacement map methods. Using them in combination with each other will help give you more complex and, dare I say it, dope-looking results.
Dare you say it?
I did. Hey Chris, your beard looks good on behind the scenes.
Awesome.
Wow.
We're gonna do from the top.
It's a beard battle.
It's gonna be a tie. I'm thinking of just doing a mustache.
Yeah.
Vote in the comments.
Man, I think you should just grow it out and become Santa Claus.
All right, vote in the comments. You want mustache or ginger Santa Claus?
Ginger Santa Claus.
We know your vote.
No matter which of these methods you choose, the compositing is the same.
Put your displacement map layer in a comp with your footage. Add an adjustment layer under it and set it to use the displacement map as a Luma matte. This will make your displacement map disappear for now. Oh no, actually it's fine. Don't worry about it.
No, I wasn't worried.
Me neither. I was acting.
No, whoa, finally.
Shots fired. I felt it.
Add a turbulent displace effect and just mess with the settings until displacement matches the scale of your water and your scene. If it looks right, it is right.
I'm still a bit shook. Add a fast box blur and turn it up just a little bit to soften the details. Doing this will make the details of the actual water stand out rather than the details of the background.
Add a displacement map effect and use the displacement map layer as the displacement map. Move the...
Can you say displacement map 2 more times?
Yeah, displacement maps, displacement map.
Thanks.
Move the horizontal and vertical displacement sliders around until it looks good to me. Stop, looks good.
At this point, depending on the shot, you might see some black or transparent borders peeking through. To fix this, add a motion tile effect, check mirror edges, and turn up the output width and height a bit. Move this effect up so it appears before all the other effects on this layer.
Add a vector blur effect and use the displacement map layer as a vector map. Turn it up just a little bit. This is going to soften up some of those details.
If you want to, add a curves effect and punch up the blue channel just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit.
Finally, add a glow with the threshold turned all the way up and increase the radius. This will just soften up those highlights.
At this point, you can turn the displacement map layer back on and set it to an overlay transfer mode. In our case, this made the dark parts of it look way too dark, so we added a curves effect and we brought up that black point. While we're at it, we also toned down the highlights a bit. And this could have been done with a levels effect. The curves and the levels are the same thing. I said it. Ooh. That's my stance.
Alright, so a game of rock, paper, scissors.
That's right. You're gonna do rock, paper, 2 out of 3 or just one?
2 out of 3. Always.
2 out of 3. Okay, and winner is gonna dump water on Chris's head.
Yeah.
I'm so nervous. Rock, paper, scissors. It was a tie.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, snap.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors. You got me. You got me. You gotta crush my scissors or it doesn't count.
Did you want a cue?
No, I'll just be surprised.
Alright.
It was good. It was good. Can we get a frame for that?
That was a good
jump,
I think. On the final shot of all this water falling onto my head, we had to paint out a large stream of water that was poured. This was easily done with 2 masks. One is just big and wide and has a large feather, and one is more tight around the stream itself.
We also decided to use an extract effect to cut out as much of the practical splash as we could, and then we layered that back over our CG water to integrate it better. And then we used some of the real water splashes found on ProductionCrate to cover up the rest of the scenes.
Yep, and then lastly was audio. The sound effects we use are all available on soundscrate.com. We have both free and pro options. These sounds are really cool and wonderful for this more like magical watery scene. Make sure to give those a listen. And that's all. That's all. Hey, by the way, if you made it to the end of the video, just know that we appreciate you. In the comments, remember to let us know if you'd rather see Adrian with a dad stash or as Ginger Santa. I would like to see the dad stash. I think he can pull it off. All right, everybody, that does it. We will see you next week. We got some really exciting news. Oh, so excited. I can't even talk.
I mean, I'm kind of done talking anyway. Later, creator.
Later, creators.
Later, creator. I always say it high. I'll say it low.
Oh, cool.
Later.
Later, creators.
Later, creator. Ho, ho, ho. Okay, I vote Ginger Santa.
Clearly you want to learn our ways. Become a part of the Crate Nation and subscribe. Or, if you'd like to learn the ways of the Edit Bend, this is the video you want to click. Or both, or all. You should watch all of these videos so that you can become a crate bender like us. Go with the flow and make it awesome.